Good evening and welcome to Stella Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire, where tonight the Bedford Bulldogs and the Exeter Blue Hawks will be doing battle for the NHIAA Division I Girls Soccer Championship. I'm Lauren Fox, and eventually with the help of Bill Klein, I will be bringing you all the action from here high above Stella Stadium. We are actually perched on top of the press box here tonight. And these two teams playing are two of the most high-class top teams in New Hampshire. We're talking about an Exeter team that in the regular season outscored its opposition 78-6. In the playoffs, they've played 2 games. They've outscored the opposition by a total of 7-3. So it's 85-9 they've outscored the opposition. On the other side, you have the Bedford Bulldogs, who have outscored the opposition now 57-5. So goals will be at a premium. And what we have seen so far from Exeter at this point in the season, from those who were at the game that day, is they play a very controlled style of soccer. They do an excellent job keeping possession of the ball, and that's what we're going to see a lot of today. The thing that you want to be on the lookout for in today's game is who can capitalize on the other team's mistakes. Bedford's rock solid. Defensively, that back line led by 3 seniors, Neve Humphrey, Sari Stein, and Araceli Cloutier. Kate Michael rounds out the back line for Bedford. But then up front, the Bulldogs also have some nice offensive weapons up that way, with Lana Morris and her twin sister Kylie getting things done up there. So our kickoff takes place. We're underway. The ball is sent out of bounds, and it'll be a Bedford throw from the near side. Michael sends it in bounds just inside, and the ball sent out of bounds by Exeter. It'll be a Bedford throw at midfield. If you are watching this game on replay and you're wondering why I'm giving the score constantly and why I'm telling you everything that's happening, well, this is a game that will be broadcast now on BCTV as an audio-only game. So our listeners need to know what the score is. They need to know what's going on. So we will do their best to broadcast soccer as if we were broadcasting on the radio. And it will be rebroadcast, of course, with the actual pictures that go along with it, not just my voice. So Bedford with the ball at midfield. Kylie Morris controls. Bedford is going right to left on your radio dial. The Bulldogs are wearing white jerseys, red numbers, and black trim. And for Exeter, they are in navy blue jerseys with white numbers, and they are going left to right on your radio dial. We will give you some details about the Exeter players here in a second. Exeter steals the ball. Bedford then steals it right back, coming back the other way. Scoreless game, 38-42 left here in the first. Exeter's front line anchored by a senior forward, Emma Smith, who scored in the regular season win over Bedford. That was a 2-1 game back in September. And Emma Smith also pulled off a hat trick in the 4-1 quarterfinal win over Concord, as well as 2 goals in the semifinal win over Timberlane. So Emma Smith is certainly one to watch, but a lot of other contributors as well on that Exeter offensive juggernaut that it is. 85 goals to this point. Exeter with a throw deep in their territory, and Bedford might have a good chance here, although Exeter's defenders knock it out. Smith tries to trap, and it goes under her foot, out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw here on the near side. Kate Michael will take it. Michael, junior defenseman, has played a lot of forward over the years, but this year has really been an anchor on the back line. The ball sent across by Grace Crowder to Neve Humphrey. Combine their names. Now the ball sent into the box by Ava Dubois, trying to find Lana Morris, but can't. And the keeper, Kristen Bickford, picks it up. Bickford's wearing a bright green neon jersey, and Zoe Santos in net for the Bulldogs is wearing a red jersey to differentiate herself from the rest of her team. Lauren Roeder makes her way through. Exeter now moving the ball toward the Bedford goal. Nothing doing. And Araceli Cloutier. Araceli's wearing what I would describe as cotton candy shoes. One is pink, one is blue. And she's on the back line. Now gets it to Neve Humphrey. Neve sends it up to Lana Morris. Lana trying to find a touch, can't. Instead, Neve gets it back, sends it to Ava Dubois up the right side. Exeter knocks it away. It'll be a Bedford throw far side. Scoreless game, 36-50 left here in the game. I would tend to think this one would be a low-scoring game, although Exeter at any point in time can explode. They ended the season scoring 11 against Manchester Memorial. And I think, although I haven't confirmed it, I do believe that the 2 that they allowed to Bedford was the fewest that they allowed all year. That one off the head of a Bedford player picked up by the keeper, Bickford, and she will send it out. And Kylie Morris wins the 50-50 ball, heads it in the direction of the Exeter goal, but it's stolen there by Callie Niels. Niels sends it up the right side. Lauren Roeder for Exeter. Can't get it. It's off of Roeder, and Kate Michael will take the throw. Michael takes the throw on the near side, tries to find Grace Odell. Front line for Bedford, at least to start games, has been Lana Morris in the middle, Grace Odell on the left, Ava Dubois on the right, although we saw some shifts in personnel in yesterday's game. Roeder with it now for Exeter on the right side. With her left foot, dribbles around, gets by Michael, by Morris, now looks into the box to trying to find Connie Petruzzi, but nothing doing. Zoe Santos will pick it up in the box and we'll get rid of it. And I stand corrected, that was not Petruzzi, that was Taylor Seaman. Santos sends it away, sends it to midfield. Grace Crowder has it go off her foot. Now she winds up getting the ball back to Morris. Morris looks to her right to the freshman Anna Diaz, who sends it up the right side to Ava Dubois. Ava has a chance to run after it, still fighting for it up the right side. Stolen by Exeter, but Bedford might have a chance if they can hold it in there. Scoreless game, 35 minutes remaining here in the first half. Ball sent back to midfield. Sari Stein challenges, and now Araceli Cloutier with a slide tackle, as is her habit. Emma Smith with it, sends it up. Has a player up there. Roeder streaking down the right side. Roeder at the end line, controls. Now sends it back to Smith. Nice job, Michael, to try to ball checker. Ball sent over to the far side. Santos, great save off the head, I think. And then another ball kicked over the end line. And it will be replay on it as well, by the way. It was Emma Smith sending it over to the far side. A shot on goal taken by Exeter. It actually hit the post. Wow. And then sent over the end line by Exeter. And it will be a Bedford goal kick. 34-20 left here in the first half. And that was a real live chance. Scoreless game. If you're getting annoyed at me saying it, I'm saying it for the people who can't see it right now. Cloutier heads it to Morris. Morris to Crowder. Crowder heads it, bowls her way through, fights for the ball, goes down at the 32-yard line of the football field, but a penalty is called, and Bedford will have a kick from the 32. Bedford going right to left, and they will have, will it be Araceli to take the kick? Indeed it will. So Araceli's got a good leg. She certainly has a shot from right there. This one scoreless, a great opportunity. The wall set about 11 yards in front of Araceli. Two players. And then the Bedford players all over on the left side. And Araceli, who had lined up the kick, now cedes it to Neve Humphrey. Neve will place the ball. And the thing that would really foul things up is if Sari Stein took the kick. Sari's left-footed, but it is Neve on to take it now as the clock continues to tick. Neve Humphrey approaches the ball. Solid shot right at the goal. And that one's just going to be to the left of the goal over the end line. She thought she had a shot at Kylie Morris, but nothing. It'll be a goal kick for Exeter. Scoreless game, 33 minutes left here at Stello Stadium. The players are buffering on the screen in front of me right now. Goal kick sent out. Kylie Morris, nice job winning the ball. Her sister Lana has a chance just inside the 18 to get it. Can't. Now fighting for the ball. Anna Diaz, small but tenacious, gets it over to the right side. Ava Dubois now getting after the ball. The ball rolling toward the goal line. The Exeter defender will send it out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw on the far side, about 10 yards from the net. Scoreless game, Division I finals. Last year we had Bedford and Bishop Girton in Exeter. That one sent into the box there. Neve Humphrey sends it in. The keeper Bickford makes a play on the ball. And with about 20 minutes left, BG scored, and that was it. Bedford couldn't get it in net, so they were in the finals last year. And of course, Michelle Winning, the coach of Bedford, and Megan Young, the coach of Exeter, have known each other for some time, and they've done battle a number of times in these state championship games. And Coach Winning won one against Exeter in 2013 and would love to do the same this year. Just under 32 minutes left, scoreless game. Bedford, Exeter. Bedford moving to my left, right to left on your radio dial. Ball out of bounds. Exeter throw going back to our right. Exeter sends it across midfield. Michael, nice header. winning the ball, and now it'll be Kylie Morris, who you're going to hear that name a lot. She's kind of everywhere, but she is omnipresent. Great job, Grace Odell stealing the ball there. Odell has some time, tried to find Grace Crowder to her left, can't. And now Exeter steals, Lauren Roeder with it, looking to Emma Smith to her right. Roeder dribbles to the middle. The sophomore challenged by Araceli Cloutier. Great play on the ball by Araceli to steal it, sends it up the left side. Now Grace Odell trying to challenge for the ball, and the Exeter crowd wanted a trip because their player Nola Fletcher fell over, but she tripped over the Stellos turf. There was no player involved in that trip, so wisely no call made, and the throw after the ball went out of bounds comes in. Smith fighting for the ball, sends it off of Roeder down into the corner, and now Sari Stein will challenge for the ball, and they will say that Roeder knocked it out. It will be a Bedford goal kick, I should say. Zoe Santos to take it. Zoe not far from the scene of the crime the other day. One of the Portsmouth players, Annie Parker, went in with a full head of steam and lowered his shoulder into Zoe. Nothing called, so I guess if that's the case, there's no penalty, but we watched that one back later, and boy, did it look pretty egregious, deserving of a yellow or a red card, but regardless, it didn't matter. Bedford still won as the ball goes into Exeter's offensive end, and Sari Stein sends it out of bounds. It'll be an Exeter throw as the ball goes down to the corner. Emma Smith tried to send it into the box, instead sent it off the shin of Kate Michael, so it'll be an Exeter throw here, just under 30 minutes left here in the first of this scoreless game. And it will be Callie Niels to take the kick. Niels, a senior midfielder who had an assist in the quarters and also had an assist in the semis, and she'll send it into the box. Low corner kick, challenged there by Roeder, who sends it now, tries to send it back to Niels, sends it into the box into the middle. Nice job poking the ball away by Cloutier. Now Bedford back the other way. Crowder sends it out to Morris, just behind Diaz, gets it to Dubois anyway. Now Diaz over to her right to Humphrey, up the right side to Dubois, and Exeter challenges, knocks it out, or doesn't knock it out, knocks it along the lines. Now Cloutier gets it, looks to the middle, Kylie Morris with it. Kylie to Grace Crowder at midfield. Grace looking, green grass in front of her, green turf as it were, and sends it to Nola Fletcher for Exeter, and Exeter back the other way. And now Roeder will send it up front as Diaz winds up winning that ball and sends it back into the Exeter offensive end. A lot of this game being played in the middle 50 yards of the field. There have been chances. We're still scoreless, 28-42 left in the first half. Nice job, Neve Humphrey getting rid of the ball, sending it back into the Exeter end. And now back the other way comes Exeter. Great job by Lauren Roeder on a ball up along the near sideline, keeping it in. And then Niels will attempt to send the ball in, tried to find Taylor Seaman, couldn't do it. And Seaman winds up falling, and it will be Exeter still with the ball. Now Exeter up the far side. Ball sent out of bounds by Bedford. It will be an Exeter throw over on the far side. 28:05 left here in the first, scoreless game. Bedford taking on Exeter in a NHIAA Division I state championship game. Okay. And now, as we are, Anna Diaz, the small freshman, sends it to Ava Dubois. Dubois tries to send it up top, nothing doing. Now Exeter with it, ping-pongs it back to Neve Humphrey, and Neve will take a second, catch her breath, get a throw. And her throw is to our left, up the side. Ava Dubois didn't really have a shot at it. Now it'll be an Exeter throw from that same spot. Exeter's throw in doesn't really do much to advance the ball for them. They cross midfield. Now their offensive player on the far side loses it, sends it to Lana Morris off her head for Bedford. Now Neve Humphrey keeps it in bounds. Nice job by Ava Dubois badgering that Exeter mid, and now one of the defenders for Exeter tries to send it in, can't do it. Sari Stein with it, sends it back across midfield, and we are literally playing on within about the 30-yard line either side. Scoreless game, 26:55 remaining here in the first, trying to see who can draw first blood. Exeter's Nola Fletcher sends it the near side off the foot of Lauren Roeder. It's off her foot, out of bounds. Kate Michael throw on the near side for Bedford. Throw off the head of Grace Odell. Finds McKenna Snow. Snow knocked down. Exeter sends it back into the Bedford offensive end, and again, it'll be a throw. Both teams testing each other in the middle of the field. This is a big field. We mentioned that the other day. It's got to be 70 yards wide as well. So that obviously enters into the equation. Bedford thought that was their throw. Michael went to pick it up. Instead, no. And Nola Fletcher with the throw. And gets it to Callie Niels, and Niels loses it off her foot. Bedford throw, 26 minutes left in the first. Michael's throw up the left side off the head of McKenna Snow. Now Grace Odell with a chance at it, but knocks it out of bounds up the near side. Fletcher with a throw. Winds up getting it back from her teammate Niels. Now stolen there by Anna Diaz, and Lana Morris winds up coming up with it after that little scrum. Neve Humphrey on the back line has a chance to look at things. Looks to her right, finds Ava Dubois. Dubois back to Humphrey, now up the far side, nothing going on up there. And Exeter coming back the other way. They are coming up the left side. And again, this is a big field. The ball sent into the keeper Santos, and Santos will send it up the right side. I think she was just looking to get it out of bounds and get a throw, and sure enough, that's what she did. 25-12 remain here in the first half. We're still scoreless. Bedford scored early in the Portsmouth game. They scored at the 34-26 mark. And in the Merrimack game, we had 4 goals by this point in the first half. So this is a little bit different, but these are two very evenly matched teams. In case you are wondering too, were we to be tied at the end of regulation, you would have 2 15-minute sudden victory overtimes, and then you would have penalty kicks until somebody takes an insurmountable lead after 5 kicks have happened. But you don't want to decide a championship on PKs. You want to keep playing until everybody passes out. So, but that is how we will do it regardless. Bedford with it. Michael back to the middle, finds Lana Morris. Now Michael sends it into the box, nothing there. Morris with it, looking, has a chance with the ball. Now she looks to her left, finds McKenna Snow in the box, but Snow gives chase. The goalie Bickford comes out, picks it up, and it will be Bickford sending it into space for Exeter here. Bickford's kick is high, but doesn't really go far, and now it's off the foot of Morris at about the 22-yard line of the football field. And not what you really hope for from your keeper. She didn't send it out nearly as far as she should have, and Bedford's still on the offensive attack. Now Odell loses it off her foot, and Exeter starting a charge here. Emma Smith up the right side off the head of one of her teammates. Couldn't make out who from here. I believe it was Cameron Camere. And instead, Smith sends it to the box. Zoe Santos smothers it, and it will be Santos getting rid of the ball. The field here, for those who don't know, so a typical football field is 100 yards wide. You add in the end zones, 120. And then a football field is 53 wide. You add, I don't know, we probably got another 15 yards on either side of the field, maybe 10. So you're talking a field or a pitch, as Sean Diaz would call it. It's about 120 yards by 75 yards. So you see a lot of substitutions on both sides because there's a lot of running on this field, and it certainly makes a difference. Exeter with it in the offensive end. The ball off the foot of Emma Smith into no man's land. Araceli Cloutier gets rid of it up the left side to Grace Odell. Odell tries to send it out, can't. Now Fletcher with it, gets it to Roeder. Roeder looks, finds Callie Niels. Niels strikes it, but misses it a little bit. And Emma Smith can't do much with that one. Bedford sends it back out. Now Exeter has it. Avery Allard had it, lost it, and now ball coming up the near side. It's Niels, and Niels tried to find Roeder, or check that, Smith to Roeder. Roeder sends it to the middle. Player with a good shot at the ball there. Santos with a beautiful save. Off her hands and over the crossbar. If you were rating degree of difficulty on a shot, that one's going to be 10 out of 10. Great ball by Lauren Roeder, sent into the box, and Taylor Seaman struck it with her left foot. Zoe got it with her hands and somehow directed it over the crossbar, and that was highway to the danger zone right there. Close one. 21:40 left here in half number 1. We are still scoreless by the grace of Zoe Santos. Corner kick comes in. Santos makes the catch. She will take her time, adjust her socks, give everybody a chance to slow down their blood pressure, or manage it, I guess, as it were. And now sends it over to the right side. It's out of bounds. It'll be an Exeter throw. That one, about as good of an opportunity as you'll have to score a goal. They have hit a post, Exeter has, and now they have just missed one over the crossbar. Neve Humphrey sends it up the right side. The ball still trickling down the line, but rolls out of bounds before McKenna Snow can get to it. It was a great ball by Neve, but unfortunately took a right turn right at the end. Now Kylie Morris heads one. Kylie creating a little bit of position at midfield. Ball stolen from Kylie, and a whistle ensues, and it looks like maybe Ava Dubois going off. I think that may be. Looked like she went down, just might need a quick check. And Odell will also go off for the Bulldogs. Annie Zink, I believe, comes on for Bedford. Crowder up on the front line for Bedford. Anna Diaz too, as well as Lana Morris. Scoreless game here. Exeter's had two real good chances. Now the ball sent back into the box. Header from Exeter. Ball taken at midfield by Lana Morris. Gets it to Grace Crowder. Crowder looks to her left. Can't find anything. Now knocked out by Fletcher of Exeter. And back the other way comes Exeter. The ball sent to midfield. Neve Humphrey fighting for it. Jockeying for position with Taylor Seaman. Nothing doing there. And the ball sent now up the left side by Exeter. Exeter still got it. Scoreless game halfway through the first half. Fighting for the ball is Seaman. And now winds up getting it back, does Seaman. Now a ball kicked toward the net. Nothing. Kate Michael intercepts that one, sends it back to her left toward the Bedford side. And now McKenna Snow doing her best, steals the ball. Up the left side goes Annie Zink. Zink tries to send it to the middle, can't. Now looks back to the middle to Morris. Ball stolen there. Now it's Emma Smith stealing it, and right back the other way, knocking it way up the near side is Sari Stein. It'll be an Exeter throw up the near side. This may be a game where the first team to one winds up winning. We have seen Exeter with the better offensive chances to this point. And I would say certainly the better keeper at this point in Santos, but it is infrequent that Zoe would go up against anybody and not earn that mantle. Ball sent into Exeter's end. Lana Morris fights for it. Now Kylie Morris gets it back, and the ball, Anna Diaz dribbling with it, gets sent off her line by Avery Allard, and probably should have been a call there, but wasn't. Now Neve Humphrey gets the ball, now sent back to the middle to Kylie Morris. Kylie controlling the ball by remote, sends it off an Exeter player. Now to Crowder, and just to the left of the net with the shot from Grace Crowder from about 10 yards out on the right side. The first real chance that the Bulldogs have had now. Kylie with a head fake, a ball fake, and then sends it into the box. Bulldogs get a lucky bounce, and then Crowder sends it on goal, but just to the left of the goal, and it is not in, unfortunately, for the Bulldogs. We're still scoreless, about 18 left here in our first half of soccer. The thing that may be a point of weakness for Exeter is their keeper's inability to send the ball out. That one sent up the left side by Crowder, but in a foot race to the end line was Annie Zink, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be an Exeter goal kick, but Bickford has made a punt that went about 12 yards and then a throw that went about the same. So to flip the field is difficult when you have a keeper that sort of struggles to do that. And in the early going, that's what we're seeing. Ball sent out on that goal kick. Crowder heads it. Bedford going back the other way. It's Snow, or I should say it's Morris. Now to her sister, or to Annie Zink. The ball sent back to our right, and Kate Michael tries to send it back to Emma Smith, or tries to send it back to Sari. Stolen by Emma Smith. Smith sends it to the middle. Nice job breaking up that pass by Neve Humphrey. Now Michael sends it back to the middle, but they're not out of the woods yet. Exeter sends it back in, and Michael trying to get the ball out of bounds. It will be an Exeter throw from up the near side. Smith will now send it into the box. Kylie Morris skies it high, out of bounds here on the near side. 16:40 left here in the first half. Got to remember to take a breath in this one. We're still scoreless. Annie Zink with it, and winds up losing it. Now Exeter sends it into the box, and Zoe Santos picks it up on one hop, and she will scout the field, try to figure out where to go with the next. Where's the music coming from?
Skate park.
The music is at the skate park. We are listening to Aerosmith. What's old is new again. Exeter with the ball. Callie Niels tried to control, couldn't. Now back the other way.
I just turned it off.
Comes the Bulldogs, but it's stolen there. Emma Smith with it, taking her time, looking in the middle, finds Niels. Niels sends it toward the end line. Another good chance for Exeter. Can she beat the Bedford player to the ball? The answer is yes, but she sends it off the Bulldog player, and it goes out of bounds up the far side. It'll be Exeter throw with about 15:30 left in this scoreless game. Ball sent into the box by Exeter, still rolling around in there. Araceli clears it out. Now one of the Exeter defenders had a shot at it, but couldn't get a good foot on it, and Bedford winds up stealing the ball. It's Annie Zink with it, sends it across midfield, trying to find Lana, nothing doing. Now Sari Stein takes it after Exeter kicks it. She sends it back across midfield, trying to find McKenna Snow, but can't find that one either. And the ball off a couple of Bulldog feet and out of bounds, and it will be an Exeter throw up the far side. Exeter has had some good chances. They have a lot of speed on that front line. Emma Smith has been nothing short of impressive. She scored 5 in the first 2 games Exeter's played in this postseason, and has had chances here today, but not been able to convert. Smith with the ball now. Just inside midfield, sends it back to Fletcher for Exeter. Sends it up the near side to Anna Lodico. Lodico left foot looking. 2 Exeter players on top of each other. Now Callie Niels, the midfielder, has it up the right side for Exeter, almost to the corner. And Araceli Cloutier does a good job intercepting that line. And the ball sent right back into the box. Now sent back into the box again. Zoe Santos calmly heads out, picks it up, cuts off Lauren Roeder, and now sends it up the right side. And it will be Anna Diaz with it, looking to her right to McKenna Snow. Snow to Morris. Back up the far side. Exeter with it now. Exeter sends it to the middle of the field. Roeder looking to her right, tries to find Emma Smith, can't. And the ball sent back across midfield by Bedford, where it is captured there by Lana Morris. Now to Grace Crowder. Crowder looking for Anna Diaz up the right side. Can't find her. Instead, McKenna Snow gets the ball. And now it's Diaz with a full head of steam up the right side. And the ball poked away, knocked out of bounds by Ashley Young, senior defender for Exeter. So it'll be a Bedford throw up the far side, about 4/5 of the way down the field. 13:20 left here in this first half of play of this scoreless game. 5 o'clock start here. We started at 4 the other day, so we did not have any night soccer, but we will have night soccer tonight. Ball sent into the box by McKenna Snow, and it will go out of bounds over the end line, and it'll be an Exeter goal kick just under the 13-minute mark, scoreless in the first. We have reads to do, but we haven't really had any breaks. Exeter's goal kick sent. Anna Diaz heads it, and the ball sends Anna to the ground as part of the favor. Now Anna winds up, getting the ball back. Bedford still has in the offensive end, but not controlling it. And coming right back the other way is Exeter, but the line disrupted by Araceli Cloutier, who gets it to Kylie Morris. Now over to Kate Michael on the near side. Kate looking for Annie Zink. Got tripped, went down, gets up. Emma Smith now steals the ball for Exeter, looks to the middle, finds Callie Niels with it, loses it, now finds it again, and Zoe Santos makes a great save in the box, and Zoe will take her time. If you're enjoying the game, you can check out more BHS sports action from Bedford Community TV on your Roku, as Bill Jennings calls it, a Roku, or soon to be Apple TV. You can also watch via the Cablecast Screenwave on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Download the app to watch the next game live on the big screen. Bedford and Exeter jockeying for position in the middle of the field. Ball sent toward the middle now by Exeter. It's Fletcher with it for Exeter, dribbling, trying to find a player up the right side. Her pass intercepted there by Kate Michael, and now Bedford steals it, and Grace Crowder will just send it out. And now coming right back the other way, Kylie Morris trying to control it, can't. And instead it's Sari Stein who sends it back out. Sari, now Araceli Cloutier with it, coming back the other way for Bedford. Cloutier to Grace Crowder. Crowder got a lot of room at midfield. Crowder now finds Lana Morris. Morris to Annie Zink on the near side. Annie back to the middle. Ball intercepted there by Ashley Young. And now Bedford still with it after knocking it away. Anna Diaz gives way to Kylie Morris, who kicks it off the Exeter defender. Now Sari Stein sends it with the right foot, and Lana Morris heads it over to the far side to Anna Diaz, who tried to find McKenna Snow up the right side, freshman to freshman, and went out of bounds. Looking for where you can find upcoming Bedford Bulldogs games, BCTV is a proud member of the New Hampshire Coalition for Community Media, which offers the New Hampshire high school broadcast schedule listing games from all across the state. Our peers in other communities may be covering your games, away games, live on their channels and live streams. Find Bedford Bulldogs game coverage live and more at www.nhccm.org/network. Scoreless game, 10-10 left here in half number one. Crowder with a header over to the far side, trying to send it to Anna Diaz, now sent back to Crowder. Crowder has a player streaking up the far side in McKenna Snow, and now a ball sent into the box. Nice ball, rattling around in that box. See if Bedford can make something happen there. Kylie Morris charges in full head of steam trying to head it. Can't, somehow winds up with the ball anyway. And now Annie Zink trying to steal. Instead, the ball winds up to Emma Smith. Smith, the offensive MVP for Exeter, crosses midfield, loses the ball. Bedford will come right back the other way. And a foul called on Bedford in midfield. It'll be a free kick for Exeter with 9:23 left in the scoreless first half. Niels takes the kick over to the far side for Exeter. Set things up. Anna Diaz intercepts that line, doing a nice job to create space with her body and gets shoved to the ground. Did a nice job of selling it too, but Anna knocked down, and it will be a Bedford kick with 9 minutes left here in the first scoreless half of soccer. Now the ball sent in by Sari Stein. A big kick from Sari off the head of the Exeter defender. Might have been a handball in the box. I wasn't the only one that saw that. And now sent out of bounds by Exeter. It'll be a Bedford throw, but man, oh man, I'd love to see that one again. See if Dale can cue that one up. Ah, there we are. Asking you shall receive. So we're watching it again. After Zink touches it, it looked like it might have gone right off her hand, but no call there. It was potentially, I don't know for sure. We need to watch frame by frame. The throw in off the head of the Exeter defender. Now secured by Bedford. Snow with it to Cloutier. Cloutier dribbling around. Great ball handling by Cloutier. Loses it. Now down in the corner as Araceli tries to find Snow. And Exeter sends it off of Snow's leg. It'll be an Exeter throw near side, just under 8 minutes left in the first. Roeder sends it up. Kate Michael heads it back the other way. Bedford maintaining possession in their offensive end, but nobody has found the back of the net. Now a header. Cloutier sends it to her right, to the far side of the field, but Exeter winds up with the ball regardless. Niels, the midfielder for Exeter, sends it back to Fletcher. Now over to Lodico. Lodico back to the middle. Really, the offense for Exeter revolves around Niels, Smith, and Roeder. Crowder with the ball now. Sends it up the right side, trying to find a body up that way. I think that's Grace Odell, and indeed it is. Odell fighting for the ball. Finally, the ball sent out. It was like everybody sort of thought the play had stopped, and it didn't. And now back the other way is Anna Diaz, who gives it a mighty kick over the end line, but that'll be an Exeter corner kick. Strange play. Odell came in. It was a 50-50 ball. Two people battling for it, and the next thing you know, the ball is loose, and everybody wasn't pursuing it. Now Exeter sends the ball out on that goal kick. Great job, Araceli heading it. Finds Lana Morris. Gets it to Araceli, who slide tackles to just keep possession, but nothing doing there. And now back the other way comes Exeter, and Bedford will send it right back the other way again. Scoreless game, 6:20 left here in the first half. Bedford-Exeter Division I Girls Championship. Bedford was held scoreless last year in their championship game. This year, they've been held scoreless in the first 34 minutes. Exeter's had two chances, one off the post, one off the hands of Zoe Santos and over the crossbar, but that's where we are right now. Bedford just trying to get something going, and you have a feeling it's going to be sort of a weird goal that gets us to that point as the ball is sent up the left side, and it will be an Exeter throw from up there. We saw Portsmouth the other night sub line changes. Exeter is the antithesis of that. Ball sent up by Sari Stein. Great ball, but nobody up there to get it. Bedford was packed in on defense. And so Exeter recovers the ball, sends it back up, and playing it and trying to get rid of it was Charlie Patton, and sends it off a Bedford player. Exeter throw near side. Now McKenna Snow with it to Araceli. Araceli off of Niels, and it'll be a Bedford throw here on the near side. I wouldn't want to get in the way of something that's coming off of Araceli or Sari's foot, either one of them for that matter. Ball thrown into McKenna Snow, off her head, now off Lana Morris's head. Back to McKenna. McKenna looked upfield, nothing there. Now to Araceli and to Anna Diaz. Diaz looks to her right, finds Kylie Morris, who looks up the far side, gets it to Grace Odell, now finds Lana Morris, back to Diaz. Diaz sends it in. Lana Morris has a shot at it, nothing doing, and Exeter just sends it out of bounds. Bedford throw far side. Scoreless game here, 4:30 left in the first. Becoming a high school sports official is an easy call. Officiating allows you to continue to be a role model by demonstrating qualities such as impartiality, fairness, and courage. High school sports officials help protect the integrity of the games we love by teaching and enforcing the rules of play. Ball sent across the end line. It'll be an Exeter throw. New officials have an opportunity to make a difference in their communities right away. To learn more about becoming a high school sports official, please visit www.NHIAA.org. Exeter's goal kick, just under 4 minutes, sent to midfield. Cloutier heads it. Exeter winds up winning the ball. Now Cloutier slide tackles the ball. Big play there, gets it to Grace Crowder. Crowder dribbling. She's at about the 18, sends it up and over and in! Big shot, Grace Crowder! The play that set up that shot was the slide tackle on the ball by Araceli Cloutier. If Araceli does not make that slide tackle, it's Exeter ball going back the other way. Instead, Araceli makes the tackle on the ball. Crowder winds up getting a shot. I misspoke, it wasn't the 18. She was about 27 out. And sends it off the top bar and down. And what do you know? The Bulldogs have a lead here, 1-0, 3:40 left here in the first. And they better start this clock. Ball sent up into the offensive end by Exeter. And now back the other way come the Bulldogs. Wow, what a play. Absolutely amazing. But if you're the Bulldogs, you can't take too deep of a breath. This is an Exeter team again that accounted for 85 goals this year. Lodico coming up the right side, looking to distribute the ball. Michael sending her toward the end line, now sent into the box, and Zoe Santos will pick it up in the box. It was not a bad cross, she just didn't have anybody to help her out there. So Santos with it. We're nearing the 2-minute mark here in the first. Bulldogs of Bedford lead it 1-0. And now you get to that point where the clock can't move fast enough if you're Bedford, but man, we still got another 42.5 minutes of soccer to play and then some. NHIAA Division I Championship, Bedford and Exeter, Stello Stadium in Nashua. If you're looking for something to do, come down and watch some soccer. It is as good of soccer as you'll see in this state. Ball sent into the box. Emma Smith had it maybe go off her hands, but regardless, Bedford sends it back out the other way. Now Anna Diaz fights for the ball with a player, Callie Niels, who's got the definite size advantage. And now it's the ball sent up the left side to Seaman, but Cloutier sends it out with a slide tackle, and there we are. 2 minutes remain here in half number 1. We are now hand timing the rest of it. Exeter throw up the far side, 1-0 Bedford, about 1:45 left here in the first half. Bill Klein will be joining me for the second half. I could do another 40 minutes of just me talking. I don't know if our listeners would want it, but I can. Adrenaline is going, man. Emma Smith with it, tries to find Caitlin Norman steaming up the right side, nothing doing. Bedford throw coming back to our left. For our listeners who are radio only, Bedford is moving right to left on your radio dial or your TV or what have you. I mean, the idea of turning your computer into a radio was Mark Cuban's idea, and he made him a billionaire, so there's that. So we are all using our computers and our TVs as radios tonight. Sari Stein sends it back out for Bedford across the midfield line. Bounce, out of bounds. Less than a minute left here in the first, and for Bedford, you just want to walk into that locker room with that well-deserved lead. Bulldogs went up 1-0 on the goal. The Grace Crowder hit off of the slide tackle from Araceli Cloutier. Now Emma Smith with the ball, dribbling to the middle. Smith, dangerous, sends it into the box, but unable to control is Seaman. Now the ball sent over to the far side. Exeter with it, dribbling toward the line, got a chance to send it back in, can't get it there, and now it's Anna Diaz who will send it back out, and now it'll be difficult to pick up who that was on the far side, but somebody trying to send it out. Now Lana Morris with a header tries to send it back the other way. 10 seconds left here in the first, off the head of Kylie Morris and off the official, and that will do it for us in half number 1. Action-packed, non-stop soccer action. I'm using the same words over and over again, but you tried talking for 40 minutes straight. Bedford got their goal at the 3:40 mark. It was Grace Crowder from Araceli Cloutier on that big shot. Not yet. And Crowder wound up converting it from about 25 yards out. That put the Bulldogs up 1-0. And that's where we stand right now. Exeter had 2 big shots, but the only one that got one in was Bedford. They sent it into the goal. Number 10, Bedford football kicks off their 2022 playoff run tomorrow afternoon down in Wyndham against the number 7 Jaguars in the NHIAA preliminary round. The winner will go on to play Nashua North in the quarterfinals next Friday night. You can catch the live coverage on Channel 23, HD 1072, YouTube, and Bedford 105.1. We will be back in about 10 minutes for the second half. Bedford 1, Exeter nothing. You are listening to and watching Bedford Bulldogs soccer from Stello Stadium in Nashua on BCTV. Good evening. Welcome back to Stello Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire for tonight's NHIAA Division I Girls Championship game. Bedford picked up 1 goal early, or I guess I should say late in the first half at the 3:40 mark. Grace Crowder from Araceli Cloutier, and I'm Lauren Fox doing this game as I have done so many with my broadcast partner Bill Klein, who is now with me. So we get a break from me talking for the better part of an hour, and now we get a little bit of Bill. But for our fans who are listening on YouTube, are we on YouTube? Okay, we are. So if you go to BCTV YouTube, you'll get the audio stream. And need to tell my wife that. But for our fans who are listening, we just started the second half and we are underway. Exeter is going left or check that right to left on your radio dial. Bedford's going the other way, and a ball contested there. Lana Morris sent sprawling by Exeter, but no whistle. And now back the other way comes Exeter. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw on the near side. Bedford is going left to right. For those who are just tuning in, Bedford is wearing their white jerseys, red numbers, black trim. And Exeter is wearing navy blue jerseys because they are the Blue Hawks after all, with white numbers. And Exeter sends it out of bounds on the near side. Bill, you watched a good portion of the second half. You saw, or the first half, you saw, or you got stuck in traffic on the Everett Turnpike, unfortunately. But what did you see? What would have been your takeaways out of that first half?
I was.
You're on. You're good.
Am I? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't hear myself. That's that one.
Now
Thank you
yeah.
very much. Primary takeaway as I walked in was I was walking in with an awful lot of other people. There was a long line of people to get in, and I was a little saddened, and I'm just going to say that because I have no idea who was involved in the accidents that held me up, but hopefully it was no one wanted to be here this evening. Not that I'd like anybody else, but anyway, with that said.
You can just hope that everybody's okay, and that's good, regardless of what their destination was.
Absolutely.
We have a 1-0 Bedford lead, by the way, 38-20 left in the game.
I saw the goal,
now.
3:42, which was surprising, and that's what I'm going to say was surprising, because it looked to me like the game could have been 3-0 Exeter. Exeter looked extremely strong. They've been playing consistent, going to the ball, trapping it better, the passes have been better, all the way around. I was shocked what I was watching, and I had a chance as I was trying to get my breath after I arrived here.
Yes.
Lauren, I heard many people say echo the same thing, that they too were surprised. Exeter's an excellent team. However, Bedford in the first half just seemed to be struggling to put their regular game back on the field tonight.
Regardless, though, Bedford did get that goal. Exeter had one early in the half that went off the right cross or off the right post, and then another one later on in the half that Zoe Santos saved that went over the crossbar. So yeah, by all rights, it could have been 2-0, if not 3-0, but the fact remains, Bedford wound up with the only goal, and I talked about it early on. Araceli Cloutier with a nice slide tackle trying to win the ball, and they call a penalty on Araceli for that one. It'll be a Exeter kick going to our left. 37 minutes left here in the game from inside their defensive end. Sent deep in and off the head of Emma Smith, now headed there by several Bedford players. Anna Diaz finally sends it up to Lana Morris, but Exeter intercepts, and it'll be back the other way. Exeter moving up the left side. I believe that is Roeder coming up the left. Now Roeder has a chance, just got to cut that angle, and a shot on goal taken there by Seaman and sent out of bounds. Zoe Santos had the right side of that goal, or the left side of that goal, I should say, her left, pretty well sealed off. And judging from her reaction, she wasn't super concerned about it.
No, it gave her the opportunity to see the ball travel wide without having to dive for it.
Sari Stein sends it to midfield. Finds Lana Morris, and contact there. They call a foul on Lana.
Well, just like the teams may play differently the first half and second half. From the other thing I heard as I was walking in, and then sensed myself, was that the official wasn't blowing the whistle for anything at all. One of the people specifically said that he didn't even know if he had blown the whistle for a single foul.
There were a couple
up until close to the end of that half, but there were a couple situations that he could have possibly.
Bedford with a steal at midfield. Ava Dubois now sends it into the offensive end, trying to find Lana Morris, but unable to do so. But it'll be a Bedford throw coming up the far side.
Good pressure being put on there by Exeter. But Bedford seems to be right now, Lauren. You were calling it. People can't see what's going on, but the feeling that they can get if they're listening to this game right now,
They are.
Do you see the
Bedford
change?
Bedford is up for the task. They are playing with a level of confidence they weren't playing with in the first half, and of course that's what happens when you have a lead, which they do. They're up 1-0, just under 35 minutes remaining in the game, but they are playing with confidence, and it is kind of a controlled aggression. They also have the wind at their backs right now, which may make some kind of a difference. Didn't really notice it in the first half, but there is wind down there. You can see the way the flags are blowing. That may make a difference also.
One of the things that always frustrates me is the lack of communication between the two officials, and although you couldn't see it this evening, when you do watch the game on our broadcast, you'll see the referee in the middle ignore a linesman's flag at one point on a throw-in. The linesman on the near side here had it one direction, and he called it the other way.
Exeter with the ball sends it back the other way, and coming up the left side is Anna Lodico, but she can't get to it. It'll be a Bedford throw up here. It's easy to listen to Bedford 105.1 online. Go to www.wbnh.bedfordnh.org for the stream link. We also stream on apps like TuneIn, MyTuner, Simple Radio, Radio Garden, and the Town of Bedford app. Just tell Alexa to play Bedford 105.1. Do you actually have to say dot? That's what I'm wondering. Ball sent into the box, 2-hop to Zoe Santos, and Zoe picks it up clean, and she will get rid of it.
People over the age of 50 need the dot put in, I think, Lauren.
But Alexa is not 50 yet. Does she need the dot? 1-0 Bedford, 33:30 left. Tried to get it out. Emma Smith holds it in. Great job, Araceli Cloutier disrupting the lane, and may have shoved Araceli Cloutier, or Araceli may have shoved Emma Smith, and Emma Smith stood up, and the first thing was she's motioning, saying, I want a card, and she did not get a card. Araceli will stay in the game. We saw Grace Crowder get one the other day on a two-handed one. Yes. Araceli only used one hand, so maybe that's the dividing line on it. 33 remaining, 1-0 Bedford. Ball sent into the box. Zoe Santos camps under it, can of corn, and now Zoe will get rid of the ball.
Quick opportunity here to mention that for those of you that are listening, tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, the Bedford girls volleyball team is playing in the state championship, D1 versus Hollis Brookline. If you're watching this on TV, of course, you already know the result of that.
You just might. Exeter throw up the far side, sent in. Now with the left foot sent into the box, Zoe Santos will come up off her line, plays it on a hop, and she'll now get rid of it. Exeter has had balls toward the goal, but here in the second half, nothing that I would really consider to be a shot on goal. Just balls sent in that general direction. Santos punts it toward midfield, just shy. And now Bedford will challenge for the ball. Grace Crowder challenging over there. Now ball back to Crowder, up the left side. Morris had a chance at it, nothing doing, and ball sent out of bounds by Exeter. Will be a Bedford throw on the far side.
I spoke today with a couple of the coaches that are involved with other playoff games coming up later this weekend. The boys finals, Division 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all on Sunday afternoon. That should be an exciting day as well. However, the Bedford team obviously is not involved in that.
That is correct. Lana Morris with it up the left side, has it taken away by an Exeter defender, but Bedford still gets the throw. Morris receives the throw off the back of her head. Now another head from the far side. Bedford trying to get something done up there. Can't. Sari Stein intercepts a pass meant for an Exeter offensive player after that steal. And now Exeter has the ball coming back the other direction. Callie Neals with it, looks to her left. Finds Lodico. Lodico at the 40-yard football line sends it way up the left side, and it'll be a Bulldog throw just shy of 31 minutes left. 1-0 Bedford.
I feel like we're in the living room right now, Lauren. The best view that we've had of a field all season.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
Up here, up top. It's like watching this on TV. It's incredible.
Not the obstructed view seats on StubHub.
I don't know if you've mentioned that where we're located right now. And
strangely enough, I had
viewers.
Ball sent into the offensive end by Bedford. Lana Morris takes a shot at it, can't get to it. Now Grace Crowder sends it way up the left side, and giving chase is Grace Odell, I should say. Grace up along the end line, tried to find Grace Crowder, couldn't find Crowder. Anna Diaz giving chase, but unable to get to the ball. Bedford coming back the other way, and nice job Araceli Cloutier stealing the ball. Bedford now will come back the other way, sends it across the field to Ava Dubois on the right side. Ava sends it near the goal mouth. Bickford picks it up and will get rid of the ball. Half an hour left here in the game. Bedford on top 1-0.
Good speed there from those two Bedford wing outside forwards, I'll tell you. Even though the ball runs pretty quickly on this turf, the fact that the field is extra wide and our girls both teams are extra fast tonight. Exeter girls and Bedford are putting everything into this game. For many of them, I'm sure you probably already said this, but I'm going to say this could be their last soccer game as a scholastic team, the seniors out there.
It is certainly their last soccer game as a high school team, and it's their last soccer game in a lot of cases playing with each other.
Exactly.
And that is an emotional thing for them to deal with. Dealt with it with baseball last year with a lot of guys that I felt like I'd grown up with in a lot of ways, and I probably did. But when they're gone, it's the end of an era, and so there's an emotional aspect that goes along with it. But whoever wins this game, you run into a friend in an airport 30 years later, somebody asks you, who was that? And then you can say, we were state champions together. Bulldogs 1, Exeter 0. 28:50 left in the first. Exeter moving back the other way. Giving chase was Lana Morris, and Lana fighting for the ball, and the ball stolen by Bedford, but a whistle there. I'm not quite certain where the whistle was, unless Lana might have grabbed a jersey, but anyway, no harm done. Avery Allard dribbling to her left. Allard finds Emma Smith. Ava Dubois intercepts, sends it back across midfield. Now Callie Neal's playing point guard basically for Exeter, sends it up the right side, but that one will trickle out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Bedford. Speaking of volleyball, Bedford girls volleyball goes three-peat tomorrow morning as they battle Hollis Brookline in the D1 championship. The NFHS network has the exclusive video live streaming rights, so we will have a live audio cast on Channel 23 and YouTube at 10 a.m. Complete video coverage on demand will play all next week on Channel 23 and HD 1072. Ball sent by Bedford. Don't get it all the way out, not fully cleared. Exeter still has a chance here. Bedford trying to force Emma Smith out, and they did so successfully. Now the ball sent back into the box, but just past the Exeter offensive player, and now Bedford will send it out of bounds on the near side. It'll be an Exeter throw.
This past week we aired the broadcast. We're lucky to air the broadcast, the game between Exeter and Bedford girls in volleyball. And let me tell you that the Exeter team, I was extremely impressed. Bedford clearly has the most outstanding girls high school team in the state, but the Exeter girls, in spite of that, did the best they could and clearly enjoyed the game and were great sportsmen.
This was in volleyball?
Yes. Yep.
I'm trying to troubleshoot my wife trying to listen to this game from an airport. Bedford steals the ball just inside midfield. McKenna Snow dragged down,
I think,
and a whistle blown, but the official going up now and talking to Caitlin Norman from Exeter, but it'll be going back the other way for Bedford. Bedford going left to right. It'll be the foot of Neve Humphrey sending it into the offensive end for the Bulldogs.
I don't know if those listeners at home can hear his whistle, but Lauren, I haven't heard him blow the whistle yet. A couple times, maybe a little bit of a tweet, but not strong like in the semis.
I have heard it, although there were times that we needed it in the semis. We didn't get it.
We didn't get it, yeah.
Anna Diaz heads it over to the far side, trying to find Annie Zink. Nothing doing. Now Kate Michael with it. Zink holds it in. Now back to the middle. Lana Morris with it. Lana's got a little bit of time, some space, but nice play by the defender to intercept that line. Now Exeter comes right back the other way. And great pass through just about everything. Looking for Avery Allard, but couldn't find her. Allard will take the throw. Great job by Ava Dubois to close that angle down.
looked like there was a little sense of urgency there that we could see. I know you can't see it unless you're watching the tape game, but it seems to me like the Exeter ladies are pushing hard, really hard right now.
Exeter's absolutely pushing hard and steaming up the right side with a full head of steam was, I believe that was Taylor Seaman, but the ball went out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford kick. 25-20 left here in the ball game.
Substitute.
Bulldogs on top 1-0.
I can't help you with those numbers, Lauren.
I see Anna Diaz going off, and that's all I got right now. Details will follow.
Yeah, I think there were two substitutions, but one was right near there and walked right off.
Ball off of Kate Michael. It'll be a Exeter throw, far side from the football 25-yard line. Again, for those who are just tuning in, this field is a football field, so it's a full 120 long, and it is also the football field width, 53 plus probably an additional 11 or 12 each side, so it's wide, 75 wide, I would say. So a big field. Great job by Araceli to send the ball back across midfield. Now Exeter with it. 24.5 left in the game. Bedford on top 1-0 or 1-0, as Sean Diaz would correct me and say might have been offside on that one, but regardless, ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw. Enjoying the game? Check out more BHS sports action from Bedford Community TV on your Roku, as Bill Jennings says it, or Roku as the rest of us say it, or soon to be Apple TV. You can also watch via the Cablecast Screenwave on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Download the app to watch the next game live on the big screen.
I mean, that was a mouthful. Good job.
It is. That one is done. Ball bounces into Zoe Santos, who gets down on 2 knees and fields it.
And the key is the keeper controlling that ball, whether it's in the air, on the ground, someplace in between, not misplaying it, and maintaining the control.
Zoe sends it up the right side, over the head of the Exeter defender. Now ball toward midfield, and it'll be Lana Morris sending it to Grace Crowder. Crowder dribbling in the middle. Crowder now has a player to her right, and she is on. Grace Odell with a cross, and the trailer on the cross. A half second late. That was Kylie Morris.
I wish we could show this too. We got a replay that those of when you watch the game live, or excuse me, on recorded, you will see that it looks so close from up here. She almost got there, Lauren.
Odell did a great job of centering it, and Kylie Morris, had she been about 2 steps ahead, would have had an open goal mouth. But as it stands, Bedford controlling things. Nice ball movement, better than just about anything we've seen today. And Exeter on their heels clears it, keeps it in bounds, and now Kylie Morris will get it out of bounds on the near side. Is crashed into by Emma Smith, who might have finished with a little bit of an elbow, just maybe.
She got hit, actually taken down with the follow-through of number 17 for Exeter.
Yes,
and
that was a little,
no surprise.
A little flourish.
Yeah.
I think
there's some frustration as far as that goes.
I think Smith might be a little bit annoyed at the fact that she got sent down by Araceli, and there was no yellow card issued at that point. Regardless, 22-10 left here in the game. Bedford 1, Exeter nothing. That is where we are. Bedford got their first goal early on. Ball sent into the box, and that one off of the Exeter player, possibly off her hand in the box.
It looked to me like her hands were up over her head and they hit them. And
we will have to go back and watch that one later, but regardless, does not matter what we think or saw. Taylor Seaman sends it now to one of her offensive teammates who can't come up with it. Now the ball sent back to the Exeter back line. Sends it back in. Exeter trying to control it and get something done. Gets it to Lauren Roeder. Roeder sending it up the right side, and her player there does a great job of holding the ball in. Kate Michael goes in, disrupts the angle, and then Araceli Cloutier cuts off that line entirely. The ball sent into the box. Neve Humphrey with a header. Now coming back the other way are the Bulldogs. Exeter putting an absolute full court press on, and this will most certainly be a war of attrition. Ball bounds into the box, and Zoe Santos leaps high and gets it. And you almost get to a point now where you expect that somebody's just going to go flying into Zoe.
Absolutely. Yeah, we've seen that. We saw that the other night. And
saw it last night,
of that
last
would
year.
make sense.
Yep.
One thing I just noticed on the Bedford side is that it looks to me like they've got they've dropped one of the midfielders back as like an extra stopper position. So it's almost five backs, and there was 6 on 3 or 3 on 6 when Exeter was mounting that attack after within about 40, 45, 50 yards of the goal.
1-0 Bedford, 20-28 left here in the game. And Bedford will probably have players make runs as the ball is stolen away from Taylor Seaman there, sent out of bounds on the near side. And it will be an Exeter throw, held in there by Callie Niels.
Skill, the way this game's being played is much better now. It's back to the way both teams are capable of playing a nice passing game and control.
Crowder sends it to the middle, trying to find Lana Morris, can't. And now ball sent to Emma Smith, who sends it to Zoe Santos on one hop. Zoe makes the play, and she will get rid of it.
Just under 19 minutes, I believe, left here. Oh, I'm sorry, just under 20.
Just under 20 left. The Bulldogs of Bedford lead it 1-0.
Nice takeaway.
Kate Michael making a run from the defensive side of things. Gets it up front, finds Grace Crowder. Crowder looks to the far side. Annie Zink sends it into the middle of the field. Anna Diaz now gets blasted by the Exeter player. No call there, and coming right back the other way, Emma Smith sends it in the middle. And another pass over to the far side, now sent back in, trying to find Smith, but Exeter can't. And the ball sent back to midfield over the head of the final Exeter defender, but Grace Crowder couldn't do anything with it, and Exeter cleans things up, sends it back out. Bedford throw near side. 18:50 remain here in this game.
Bedford defenders are really frustrating the Exeter attackers. They're on them so quickly as the ball's passed to them.
Ball sent out of bounds by Exeter on the near side. It'll be a Bedford throw coming with 18:30 remaining in the game. The Bulldogs hanging on to that 1-0 lead. Ava Dubois had a shot at that ball, got shoved from the back, nothing called. Now the ball sent in by Taylor Seaman, and Araceli Cloutier will send that thing all the way to Brookline. I think it's in the parking lot. Araceli tackled the ball, and instead of just gently touching it, Araceli decided that it needed a new zip code.
I think it went far enough that if there's a student out there that wants it, they're taking it home.
Yeah,
they're leaving.
Like Waveland Avenue at the Chicago Cubs. Ball sent way up the left side by Bedford. It will go out of bounds, but more importantly for Bedford, it's making Exeter run down and make a play down there, and it's also taking some valuable time off the clock for the Bulldogs.
Of course, the game that was surprising when they scored early in the semifinal for the Bedford girls I'm referring to, and then had to hold on to that lead for a long time.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable. That was 75 minutes of holding on to a lead. Ball sent up the right side. Exeter player making a run. Gets around the Bedford defender. Now Bedford cutting off that angle. Ball sent into the box. Taylor Seaman had a shot at it. Great job on defense there by Araceli Cloutier, just getting in the way of that play. And then I don't know who cleared it. Somebody sure did. And that was another good chance for Exeter. But Bedford's defenders were playing angles and were in the right spot. That's all you can do on a play like that, is go to the appropriate space. And I'm reasonably confident we'll probably have a replay of that shot coming that we can see. Our radio listeners won't be able to, but it was a lovely cross from Exeter. And sure enough, ask and you shall receive. The cross came in from Exeter and went through the box, and it was not, as I had thought, it was not Araceli Cloutier. I believe it was Ava Dubois making the defensive play there. So great play by Ava, selling out and knocking Taylor Seaman out of the play.
That kind of took my breath away. If you're listening to this game right now, that was one of the first times where I would say, oh my gosh.
Great ball by Ava Dubois over top. Grace Crowder has a chance at it, but unfortunately couldn't win the foot race to the ball. Now the ball sent back up to Grace. She plays one touch. And unfortunately nobody there to help out. Grace now sends it up the far side. The ball will trickle out of bounds as we're right around the 16-minute mark. Bedford 1, Exeter nothing. here in this game. The Bulldogs got a goal from Grace Crowder with 3:40 left in the first after a tackle by Araceli Cloutier, and now Exeter coming back the other way. Callie Neal sends it up to trying to find Emma Smith, and Zoe Santos comes about 16 yards out of goal.
Part of her effort was to get away from the oncoming Exeter player. She made a real nice move to protect herself from getting potentially injured with the charge.
It was a good ball. Zoe came out, got it, and got the ball more importantly, then sends the ball back out to midfield. Neal's with it. She is the playmaker for Exeter, sends it over to the far side, and now it's Michael sending it out of bounds on the far side. It'll be an Exeter throw over there, but that's just fine for the Bulldogs.
The Exeter girls field hockey team last week won the state championships, which we did not get too far into that from the Bedford side. But whether you're listening or you're hearing that in the future, anybody from Exeter, give the Exeter girls 2 thumbs up. They had a great season. The final was the only team that beat them during the regular season. They beat them in the finals.
Bedford leading here 1-0. Anna Diaz steals it in the Bedford offensive end, but a couple nice touches. She looked like she might have had a shot to squirt through, but couldn't do it. And now coming back the other way will be Exeter after a throw. That one popped up by Avery Abood. And now coming back the other way is Bedford. The ball just being ping-ponged right around midfield. Just under 14.5 left in the game. Bedford on top, 1-0. In case you're just joining us, they got that goal close to the end of the first half. Now the ball sent in. Araceli Cloutier doing a really nice job getting contact on the ball, and then Araceli gets shoved down there.
I think the official is turning his head a little too quick to follow the play and not watching.
Great ball check by Araceli, knocking that one out of there. Gets it to Anna Diaz. Anna's in a little bit of space. Sends it to Grace Crowder. Beautiful ball. Crowder dribbling, looking up the left side. She's got Annie Zink over on the left. Zink with the left foot to the right side of the net. Just misses the right side of the net. But a beautiful shot on goal by Annie.
I'm going to give you a little applaud on that play. That was beautiful. After the lack of the call, the obvious charge over here, and the Bedford player, I think, is speaking to the referee right now about that. But then Bedford put together a great rush, passing perfect. Except the ball didn't go in the back of the net.
Didn't go in the back of the net, but it was great ball movement started by the freshman Anna Diaz. Bulldogs leading 1-0, 13-10 left in the game. Kylie Morris now with it, has the ball stolen from her. Seaman with it, has the ball stolen from her by Morris. Anything you can do, I can do better. Now it's Diaz with it. Anna looking, trying to direct traffic. Thought she had Grace Crowder, and the ball just a little bit behind Crowder, and Crowder giving it all she's got, but this is an awfully big field, and Grace hasn't really been out much at all today.
No, and they're marking her quickly. They're coming up. 2 defenders are on our forwards as soon as they are approaching the ball each time.
Callie Neal's with it, the point guard for Exeter. Bedford on top 1-0, 12:30 remain in the game. Exeter with the ball on the far side, trying to get it into the box. Nothing doing there. Nice job getting it out by Bedford, and then Exeter sends it back in before it goes out of bounds. And the ball saved along the far side by Crowder. And then Crowder still fighting for it now. Crowder with it, looking around. She's got plenty of field in front of her. Sends it up the left side. Anna Diaz is giving chase. She might need oxygen as she's running up that way. Anna hasn't stopped. It's like the Energizer Bunny the whole game.
Oh, my goodness.
And that one sent out of bounds by Exeter. It'll be a Bedford throw, and yeah. These girls are going to deserve a little sleep.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's just say that. 1-0 Bedford. I keep giving the score because I'm trying to will the game to be done, but not that I'm not enjoying this, but a win would be nice. And for the Bulldogs, they got to find a way to get that done. Emma Smith with it. Great job by Grace Odell to knock the ball away, and Smith goes right through her. And do they say a foul called on Emma Smith for going straight through Grace Odell? For our viewers who are watching replay, Smith was dribbling full head of steam. Grace went to steal the ball, just basically tackle it out, and Smith ran right through her. And guess what? You can't do that one. It'll be a Bedford kick. 11-10. Even I know that. 11-10 left here in the game. Bedford leading 1-0. Araceli on to take the kick.
I was afraid the call was going to go the other direction.
I thought so too.
Lauren,
I would have guaranteed you it was going to go the other way.
From what I've seen so far tonight.
Yep. Ball sent in. Crowder, I think that is, tries to fight for it on the far side. Sure enough, it is Grace. Now Grace sends it back in. Anna Diaz off the Exeter defender. It'll be a Bedford corner kick from the far side. So the Bulldogs get a set piece here. It'll be Neve Humphrey on to take it. I think each team will have now had one corner kick. This is the first one for the Bulldogs in the game.
I don't even remember one, but
there was one early on.
Was it you and I that were discussing the short corners?
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay.
Yeah, because we repositioned players on a corner the other day. But Humphrey sends it in right into the goal mouth. Bickford leaps, ball's loose, and somehow she picks it up on a hop. Got lucky.
Caught it, brought it down to the ground, and it bounced again. A little odd, but the short corners. I was on the phone with Dave Pinkham, the 46th or 47-year high school coach, Guilford High School. He said this past season, 95% of their corners are short corners. They don't kick it long anymore at all. Ball
sent in. Emma Smith with it to the left. Zoe Santos, a diving save to her left. That ball was not going in, but if you're Zoe, you don't know whether that ball is going in or not. You got to make a play on it, and more importantly, you got to play that ball clean because somebody should be trailing on the play. Now, with that said, nobody was trailing on the play.
The referee stopped clock. I'm not sure why.
Zoe got up a little bit gingerly, and I think he might be going to check on her, but
it would appear that is the case. And
I don't think she's coming out of the game for anything. Sorry.
No, and it'll just be a drop ball to give her back the ball. That's good, especially because of the Scholastic, the high school game where you want to shoot for sportsmanship. So she's got it, and now the clock restarts.
9:24 left here in the game. Santos gets rid of it up the right side. Ball bounds over the head of a couple players. It's in the Bedford offensive end now, and an Exeter player will head it out of bounds.
The more time the ball is out of bounds as we go ahead here,
you bet.
Bedford will be happy.
It's like running the ball in football. Keep that clock going. Throw in. Grace Odell heads it. Now ball sent back to the middle. Lana Morris steals the ball away. Lana still has it somehow. Not quite certain. Sends it back to the middle. Morris to Morris. Kylie, or check that, Lana to Kylie. And a bounding ball into the box that almost bounced over Bickford's head. Boy, that would have been an unfortunate turn of events for Exeter.
Especially the embarrassment of the ball going in on the bounce.
Yes. Bickford punts it to the near side, shanks it a little bit, and Odell challenges on that ball. Exeter trying to hold it in, nothing doing, and it'll be a Bedford throw. It should be, but the officials don't agree with me. Bedford throw near side, 8:20, or Exeter throw, I should say, near side. 8:20 remains here in the game.
That time we did have the eye contact. When you are able to watch this game, you'll see the referee and the linesman look at each other, but they both had a hard time making a decision which way to go.
Bedford ball, midfield.
Should have had you do it, Lauren. Make the call from up here.
Ava Dubois has it on the left side. Ball stolen from Ava. Ava giving full pursuit there. Ball out of bounds. It'll be an Exeter throw. The other point that we haven't mentioned yet, we did talk about the fact that Exeter was scored 85 this year and has only allowed 10 now. But Exeter comes into this game 18-0, an unblemished record. And the Bulldogs are the only thing standing in the way of that. 7.5 minutes remain here in the game. Bedford on top 1-0. Now Bedford trying to get that ball out of the offensive end. And now great play by McKenna Snow to send it up the right side. McKenna somehow like a seal, off her head, off her knee, up the right side. And now with 7:10 left here in the game, Exeter has the ball.
The Wild world of sports.
The wild world of sports.
Here we are.
Here we are. 7 minutes remain here in the game. Exeter's trying to send it in. Player somehow gets through 2 players. Now it's Emma Smith, had a chance at a shot, passed it up. Now a shot attempt. Anna Diaz with a big deflection there. Crowder with it. Crowder sends it all the way up the left side. What a play. And that amounts to basically downing the ball or running into the line, getting that first down. It just doing nothing except taking clock and trying to milk it.
Anna Diaz was in the right place at the right time and took a really hard shot. Strike at the ball. I say shot, the ball was hit really hard.
Ball sent into the box, and Zoe Santos comes charging up, making a play on the ball, but also instrumental on that play was Grace Odell cutting the angle of the offensive player and nicking her just enough without a penalty, but just enough to make it so that Zoe had a clear path to the ball. So nice play by Grace on that one. Bedford, 6 minutes here, leads Exeter 1-0, NHIAA championship, girls championship. Bedford trying to win their first one since 2013. Bill Klein and I are about to get our clocks started. And as you know, 5 minutes, the clock is not up here, it is down there. So be prepared for 16 minutes of extra time. Ball sent into the box, off the head of Cloutier, now off the head, I believe, of Neve Humphrey. No, that wasn't Neve. Trying to figure out whose head that was down there. I think it was McKenna Snow sending it out of bounds, but it'll be a corner kick for Exeter from the far side. Kate Michael did everything she could to save the ball, but she just couldn't get to it. So a corner taken by Exeter. Bedford on top 1-0, just about 5 minutes remaining. Oh! And ball hit there by Exeter. Ava Dubois deflects. Ball sent into the box, and now off the head of an Exeter player, and Zoe Santos will pick it up. And we are at the hand-timed portion of our soccer game.
You wouldn't see this if you were watching it live anyway, but the Bedford fans, just all of them jumped up when Zoe made that save. That was just another beautiful play that had to be made.
And Exeter putting the full court press on right now for the Bulldogs. They lead it 1-0, trying for their first championship since 2013. Ball stolen by Kate Michael. Kate's going up the far side, knocks it off the Exeter player. It'll be a Bedford throw, and the clock continues to run. About 4:20 remain here in the game. And into the game, Neve Humphrey comes back, got her a little bit of rest. McKenna Snow did a great job on the back line for the Bulldogs. And about 4:10 remain here in the game.
The referee actually stopped the clock for that substitution, which I don't think is correct necessarily, but maybe I'm wrong.
That's a strange thing. So my clock will not be right, but regardless.
No, either's mine. I didn't realize he stopped it till he started it, and he signaled for the restart of the timing.
1-0 Bedford. Diaz controls it at midfield. Now Exeter with it. Anna, or check that, Callie Neals had it. She had it stolen away by Bedford. Now back the other way, Lana Morris has it stolen. And coming back the other way is Neals. But Araceli Cloutier steals the pass from Neals and sends it high into the false sky and against the far sideline, where Exeter then sends it out of bounds. And it'll be a Bedford throw on the far side. But regardless, that throw makes a big difference for the Bulldogs. By my count, including even the 10 seconds or so related to the substitution, we're at about 3.5 minutes.
Yes.
And it'll be a Bedford throw, leading 1-0 for the Bulldogs.
Araceli's kick there, the clear that she made defensively, probably went 45 to 50 yards in the air.
For you hockey fans, it's like on a power play, sending it over the blue line. Big deal, big play. Now Bedford sends the ball up the near side. It'll be an Exeter throw, and controlling the ball is Emma Smith. Smith trying to take matters into her own hands, sends the ball up front,
nice.
But a great job made by Sari Stein heading the ball. Exeter still putting that press on. Ashley Young had it, I should say, and now a foul called there on Bedford. It'll be an Exeter kick from about the 45-yard line of the football field, about 42-52 out. But even still, the clock continues to run. About 2:30 remain in the game. 1-0 Bulldogs. Exeter with that free kick, middle of the field, about 44 yards out now. A header sent out. And now sent back in by Exeter. The ball just outside the 18. Bedford trying to get a clear out of it. And indeed they do. Sari Stein tried to get it past midfield, couldn't. Now off the head of Anna Diaz. And a ball kicked into the box there by Exeter. And Zoe Santos will wind up coming up with it after it hits a Bedford player's head. And that'll be another advantage for the Bulldogs to kill a little bit of time. 1:50 or so remain here in the game. Zoe, a big punt, gets it to midfield. Now off the left foot of Grace Odell, and Exeter sends it back out of bounds on the near side. It'll be a Bedford throw, and Exeter really did Bedford a favor on that one.
They did, and the fact, as you pointed out, that Exeter has been undefeated. They got a bye in the first round as well, so they got a little extra rest.
Off the head of Cloutier, off the head now of Sari Stein, now Kylie Morris, now Lana Morris, and now into the Bedford offensive end. Just about 1 minute and 10 seconds left here in the game. Bedford leading at 1-0. Ball bounces over Grace Odell's head, off the Exeter offensive player. Now down the left side, Exeter coming with a full head of steam is Avery Abood, and a great play made there by Kylie Morris, poking the ball away. And we're under 1 minute here, somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 seconds. Ball sent out. Ashley Young sends it into the box, and it's caught there by Zoe Santos. And Zoe can take her time before she gets rid of the ball. About 40 seconds left in regulation here. The Bulldogs of Bedford leading Exeter by the count of 1-0.
For the fans listening, that ball that was served into the penalty area was just a big floater.
And a handball.
Got a whistle with a handball over
A handball down here. The student section saw it. The referee saw it as well. And as a result, Bedford wound up getting the call. About 15 seconds left. Bulldogs on top 1-0. Araceli Cloutier with a mighty kick into the Bedford offensive end. My timer just went off. We'll see how much time remains. Exeter trying to get the ball into Bedford's offensive end. We'll just see how much extra time there is. Ball out of bounds. It'll be a Bedford throw. But regardless, the Bulldogs leading 1-0. By my count, we are out of time. The clock stopped when the ref went to check on Santos, and then there was about another 10 seconds. And that is going to do it. Ball game is over. Season is over. For a lot of these girls, careers are over. And for Exeter, their 18-game losing streak is over. Bedford are your 2022 NHIAA Girls State Champions.
And they are one happy group. Oh my goodness, as are the fans. The Exeter girls, a few of them are down on the field. They're very upset. They're being consoled by each other. They're hugging. You go through this season with all that success, and some teams talk about the fact that to lose once before you get here might not be the worst thing. To understand, what do you do when you lose? What do you do? In this case, you don't have anything to do, Lauren. Both teams played great. I was impressed with Exeter in the first half, Bedford in the second half, and hey, looking forward to next season already.
Yeah, seriously, right? So
let you wrap it up.
For Bedford, they picked up 1 goal in the game. It was at the 3-minute and 40-second mark of the first half. That one converted by Grace Crowder from about the 22-yard line. Big goal by Crowder there off a ball stolen by Araceli Cloutier. I talked at that time about what a big play that steal was going to be, and sure enough, 10 seconds later, Crowder sent it off the top bar and into the goal over the keeper Bickford, and that gave Bedford a 1-0 lead. To that point in the game, Bill Klein will tell you it should have been 3-0. I'll tell you it should have been 2-0. Exeter had one that hit a post. They had one that Zoe Santos leaped for and sent over the crossbar. None of those went in, and that gave the Bulldogs a 1-0 lead at that point. And a lot of times you'll see teams kind of sock it back on defense, play not to lose. Bedford was still playing aggressive. There is no prevent defense in there. And for Michelle Winning and the girls, this is their first championship since 2013, and a big deal for this program. Some of the pivotal plays in this season were made by seniors, and And the ones who were impact players in today's game, as well as impact players all season: Zoe Santos, Grace Odell, Neve Humphrey, Araceli Cloutier, Grace Crowder, Sari Stein, Ava Dubois, Anna Stavropoulos. Big plays made by big players, and that's how you win a state championship. That senior leadership is going to be tough to come by, but there are a lot of good juniors making their way up. Should be a great year next year for the Bulldogs as well, and a lot of young talent too. Got an opportunity to shine in a state championship game as freshmen.
Absolutely. Simply amazing after losing all the seniors and getting here tonight. And what we have upcoming for you is a treat if you're a Bedford fan, that's for sure. We got a couple of my old friends, Peter Lally and Pete Perrick, represent NHIAA down on the field, and to represent the championship trophy plaque, I believe it is. And of course, Bedford Gym is going to be adding another banner up.
Bedford Gym and Room 130 at Ross A. Lurgio Middle School will also get some hardware too. That's Michelle Winning's classroom. So
yeah, that's right.
Our sincere thanks to our crew here at BCTV. Of course, Bill Jennings for everything that he does, Colleen Richardson for everything that she does as well. We're going to stay for this.
Yes, we are.
Hey, why not?
Yes, we are.
We will stick with you for this for the presentation of the championship trophy. But man, if you're going to go out as a senior, this is a way to go out. And Michelle Winning gets a big hug. See Colleen go running up to coach. And Danielle, her older daughter, goes up for a big hug, as well as the next generation, Diaz. Maddie going over that way. But for these girls, talked about it earlier, for Exeter, there's no shame in this. They had an amazing season. This may have been the only time that they actually trailed in a game this year for Exeter.
Like you said, they had so few goals and scored against them, period. And are we going to be able to get the feed for the announcements put on? We're going to go off here in a moment, say goodnight to you, and they're going to bring, although we're going to stay, and they're going to turn up the stadium.
So we're going to have the stadium announcements. For Bill Klein, I'm Lauren Fox. Bedford 1, Exeter nothing. The Bedford girls soccer team are your NHIAA Division I champions.
And last comment from me, if you're listening to this live on the radio, tomorrow morning, the girls championship. But other than that, here we go.
And one at a time, the individual award for the Exeter Blue Hawks. Congratulations to Coach Young. Number 5, Nola Fletcher. Number 3, Avery Allen. Number 4, Ashley Young. Number 6, Caitlin Norman. Number 16, Lauren Redmond. Number 7, Hannah Lozo. Number 23, Allie McDonald. Number 2, Callie Neal. Number 17, Emma Smith. Number 20, Taylor Cannon. And in the goal, 0, Kristen Victor. Also joining everybody else, number 14, Ava Welch. Number 15, Sophia Legault. Number 22, Charlie Cooke. Number 27, Caitlin Schwarzer. Number 10, Cameron Cameron. Number 11, Madison Cameron. Double 0, Hannah Office. Number 1, Susanna Ritz. Number 18, Emerson McBride. Number 21, Connie Catruzzi. Number 8, Jacqueline Corey. And number 13, Julia Shute. Congratulations, ladies, on a fantastic season. And now with the head coach and captain of the D1 champion, Bedford High Bulldogs. Congratulations. 5, Lana Morris. Number 6, McKenna Snow. Number 7, Ned Humphrey. Number 9, Araceli Cloutier. Number 10, Grace Crowder. Number 11, Kate Nicole. Number 12, Kaylee Morris. Number 13, Sari Stein. Number 14, Katja Ava Dubois. Number 15, Annie Zink. Number 16, Anna Stavropoulos. Number 17, Haley Siwa. Number 21, Maggie Fox. Number 22, Nora Rickle. And number 23, Mackenzie Forrester. Congratulations to our Division I Girls State Soccer Championship.